So what makes a good warm-up? There's kind of three things that make a good warm-up. Number one is going to be raising your body temperature, right? Number two is going to be muscle activation, specifically of the muscles you're going to be working that day during your training day, during your workout. And then lastly is going to be full and proper range of motion. So we want to experience all three of these things every time we warm up. So to get a rise in body temperature could be as easy as hopping on the treadmill for a few minutes, right? Doing some jumping jacks, running a little bit if you need to. So getting that body temperature elevated is key to getting the blood flowing, maybe even break a sweat. Not only do you feel better, but it's just kind of priming that body and getting it ready to go, right? Number two is going to be muscle activation. And again, specifically of the exercise or the body parts that we're going to be doing that day. And, you know, the easiest way to warm up is just to pick the exercise that you're going to be doing and do it at either body weight or a lot less weight than what your working sets are going to be. By doing that, you're hitting all three of these things. You're raising your body temperature, you're doing muscle activation, obviously because you're doing the same exercise, just at a lighter load. And I hope that you're always using full and proper ranges of motion when doing so. But as a separate example, let's say you're doing overhead press in your workout that day with dumbbells. Well, why don't just do it with a band, right? And use a full range of motion. So you're getting the muscle activation, you're doing the same exercise. You're just doing a little bit of an easier modality to work your way up into heavier loads. So guys, if your warm-up has those three things, it's raising your body temperature, it's activating the muscles that you're going to be working, and you're doing so while using a full and proper range of motion, that is going to make a really good warm-up so your body is ready to hit those harder, heavier exercises. And now when you are ready to hit those harder, heavier exercises, it's super important to do them with good form. And by using good form, you're minimizing the stress on your joints and you're spreading the load properly across the muscles. So for example, if I'm doing a bench press, I should be using my chest, I'm using my front delts, I'm using my triceps, my core is engaged, I'm using leg drive. All of those things are important to make sure that I don't overstress any one area. If my elbows are flared way up during my bench press, because meaning that like I have bad form, it's going to put a lot of pressure on my shoulder where it shouldn't be. And if that happens, my risk of injury is much higher. So I want to make sure that I'm using proper form. And not only am I using proper form, but I'm using proper form with appropriate loads, meaning that I'm not doing more than I should. And we're going to talk about that a little bit in progressive overload. But the reason I want to mention it now is because if you are using too heavy of loads, it will often lead to you breaking proper form.